In this video, we return to Kaeng Krachan National Park for another day of exploring and searching for its wildlife, both big and small. The day before had been an absolute success, having had an up-close encounter with a male hornbill, which you can see in our previous video. Kaeng Krachan's tropical rainforest is both massive and dense, which means spotting wildlife can be more difficult than in places with more open landscapes. If you plan to visit this beautiful park, be sure to budget at least 2 full days to give yourself a greater chance of seeing more wildlife. In fact, the host of our lodge near the park showed us some photos of a small group of black panthers that were taken by a guest of hers just a couple of weeks prior. We returned to the park gate, but this time we continued straight through the park and drove till the end of the paved road, which was as far as my car could go. If you wish to go further, you either need a 4-wheel drive or you can do what we did and hike it. You will have to cross a series of small streams on foot, so be prepared to get your feet wet. However, this is where you really get to explore Kaeng Krachan's dense rainforest. The foliage becomes extremely thick and you can hear all sorts of animals around you, including the occasional gibbon. It wasn't long before we heard loud noises in the trees above. It was a large group of dusky leaf monkeys, otherwise known as spectacled langurs, a threatened species of monkey that inhabits forests all along the Malay Peninsula. Kaeng Krachan is about as far north as their habitat extends. They have an extremely distinct face that for some reason reminds me of the Ewoks from Star Wars. Unfortunately, their habitat has been in decline, which has led to them being placed on the endangered species list. Kaeng Krachan is probably one of the best places you can visit to see these monkeys in their natural habitat. We watched them for a while as they leaped through the trees, foraging for fruit. As we continued our way through the jungle, Zach spotted something sitting on a rock just off of the trail. It was a tortoise, more notably an Asian forest tortoise, which we later found out is a critically endangered species that inhabits forests in Southeast Asia. They are also known as the mountain tortoise or the Burmese brown mountain tortoise. This tortoise was indeed a lucky find, since there aren't believed to be too many left in the wild. The exact numbers are not known, but sadly, being critically endangered puts them only 2 steps away from being extinct. This particular tortoise was most certainly a juvenile, as adults get much larger in size. In the wild, they can reach up to 25 kilograms and much more than that in captivity. Eventually, the tortoise moved off of the rock to eat some nearby plants. Had Zach not looked off of the trail, we definitely would have walked by never knowing it was there. Before getting back to the car, we came upon a few bird watchers with their cameras pointed into the jungle. They had found a white-fronted Scopes owl sheltering itself from the afternoon sun on a branch just off of the trail. Zach and I definitely didn't think we would get to see an owl in Kaeng Krachan, so this certainly took us by surprise. The white-fronted Scopes owl is a relatively small species of owl that inhabits forests in western Thailand and the Malay Peninsula. It is listed as vulnerable, with only 2,500 to 10,000 believed to be left in the wild. As owls are fairly inactive during the day, we had to watch it for quite a while before we got to see it move. What an absolutely magnificent bird.